Neither of these two I like, Nancy Pelosi or Jerry Nadler. And what's weird is I'll agree and disagree with them on. It's so weird because, okay, it all centers around impeachment and, what exactly you're going to try to impeach on. So impeachment in general, no, I'm not for it. Because it gives Trump yet another thing in order to get to cry like he's the victim of something when he's the biggest shyster that's ever been in the White House. And that's after Nixon. I thought you cannot get a more fucking criminal, crooked piece of shit other than Richard Nixon. I'm from Orange County, so I know. He's right up the way in Yorba Linda. And, oh, God, this Trump guy, he's way worse. Way. So anyway, he would actually use it to his advantage because here's the main thing. Like, if Democratic leadership, not just Bernie Sanders and, a handful of other people in the party, because they're the ones talking about real issues that working class people can get behind and get excited, get out people that don't vote at all or haven't voted in a long time. If the leadership was like that, okay, then it makes sense to impeach because then even while you're doing the impeachment, whether or not that goes good, bad, who knows, one way or the other, you're still bringing up the issues that matter. You're still trying to pass the bills that would help out working people and prove it by, when you bring it up to pass in the Senate, they knock it down. Or even if it does pass the Senate miraculously, it'll get vetoed by the president. So at least then you're showing the people, hey, we're trying. We're trying, but these people are not going to let us do shit. You got to get us, either we get this asshole out through impeachment and or we get more people in through elections that'll actually do for you. But they're not. And they give you this bullshit that they're like, hey, we can walk and chew gum at the same time. Hey, we can dance and do this other thing too. And, no, you can't. If that's the case, then we would have all these things passed, ready to go. They say that there's bills passed by the House waiting for the Senate. Most of them are fucking whoop-de-doo type bills. They're not anything that helps the regular person put food on the table and helps their families in general. So, like I said, basically, in the general sense of impeachment, no, I'm not in favor of it. Especially when your fucking main situation that you're clamoring for, as far as why, or the main reasoning behind why you're going to do it is the Russians attacked us and the collusion. No, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. You idiots decided to go for the wrong thing. If you would have went after his financial shit from day one, from the very first time you even thought about investigating the president, if it would have been just about his financial records, oh, well, he'd be already out of office already. It'd be easy. No problems. But you didn't. You went with a sensationalist bullshit angle and it fucked you up. So, too bad. Now, Jerry Nadler, of course, just like Nancy Pelosi, they're both on the same page as far as Russia bullshit. That's every fucking idiot in the establishment of the Democratic Party thinks that way. But now's a new wrinkle to be thrown in. So Jerry Nadler runs this Judiciary Committee, and there's now a bunch of these people, Bill Barr, Don McGahn, a few other different individuals that they want to call before the committee to testify and, investigate things, that those people that they're calling before them are basically doing like this. They're going, fuck you. We don't give a shit about what you say. We're doing what we want. That's pretty, and it's not like they're doing it on their own accord. No, there's no way Bill Barr or McGahn or any other person who's, defying them has the balls on their own to be like, yeah, fuck that, I'm big time, fuck that, ain't gonna do nothing, I don't care, I'm not going, right? No, it's because they're being directed by the White House to be like, no, don't. We're telling you, do not go. That's blatant obstruction. Like, you can't even fucking begin to say anything other than obstruction of justice. And that's the only place where I would see impeachment. So it was only up until these last few weeks that just for this very reason, And this is Jerry Nadler's thing now. He's like, look, now, how about now? Is it impeachment now? What do you think? Or now, is it obstruction? Can we impeach now, huh? This is where I agree with him. So in general, no, I wouldn't agree with Jerry Nadler's, thoughts on impeachment or whatever, because before it was about Russia primarily. Now it's about realistic shit that they're not letting you do your job. They're telling you to fuck off. The constitutional power of Congress to have oversight and investigate things, they're not going to let you do it. They're obstructing you, literally obstructing you to do your job. So I would go for impeachment. But primarily the main thing is, yet again, it just proves how pussy Democrats are. Do you think if the roles were reversed and Republicans were in the position that Democrats are right now, and there was this blatant obstruction taking place, do you think the Judiciary Committee head would just be like, we'll see how it goes. We'll just, we'll throw out a letter and we'll strongfully ask them to please come on, No, dude. Even if it wasn't possible, they'd be like, no, we're going to throw this fucker in jail. We'll hire private security. We'll go out and get Pinkerton guards to go take this motherfucker out of his house, put him in jail until he comes before us. Or they'd say, look, all right, you don't want to come before us? $10,000 fine every fucking day you don't show up. How about that? Why isn't that taking place? Like, if Democrats had a fucking any sort of gumption or any sort of guts, that's what they do. They go, all right, asshole, you want to show up? Fucking $10,000 every day. See how that goes. How much money you can fucking spend or, have and be able to stay away before you go broke. Oh, and it'll get worse. It'll get way worse. But they don't. So I don't know there's all kinds of theories. I guess mine would be, leadership, primarily Nancy Pelosi, is trying to run out the clock. So she gives you the waffling, well, one way, I don't know, sort of, kind of, yes, no, maybe, until it gets to a point at say September, August, maybe October or so of later on this year, when you're like, yeah, no, it's starting to get way too into the presidential election, and then now it's going to get too political, so we can't do the real investigation, we can't impeach, we can't. And the likelihood is, keep up that bullshit of waiting it out and, running out the clock so that not only does it not appear political, but it also you're discussing that and that only, and no working class issues get discussed, passed, or worked out in any sort of way. That's what that's what it has to be. She's no fan of anything that'll help people. If it helps donors, she's all about it. If people get helped in the process, yeah, okay, well, cherry on top. But if it's anything that helps people and maybe not even hurts donors are going to be fine no matter what. It's something that helps people and donors make $1 less in profit. No. She's like, fuck that. I get paid too much money by those people to have anything like that happen. So so once again, back to the beginning, in the general sense of no impeachment, I guess I agree with Nancy Pelosi. I guess. Maybe not for the reason. Now, if we get into the reasons about why she does or doesn't, I probably don't agree with that. But just in the general sense, I agree. Let's not impeach. Now you go to Jerry Nadler. I agree with him in the sense that if you're going to impeach about anything, it's right now, and it's about obstruction and the things that have taken place recently involving them them being told not to show up by the White House at these various committees. Oh, well, look, I'm about issues. This is just something I brought up so that you see that establishment leadership is not on your side. If you didn't know it already, yet another example. So I don't want to hear anybody on mainstream media, especially, or even on Twitter, talk about how these people are the resistance. They're here to help you. We need to stand behind them. Oh, they're the great people of our party. And, none of that shit. They're worthless. And we need to get them out of the way ASAP.